Hello, friends and franchise mavens. I hope you had the opportunity to listen to my introductory episode on franchising. With the last episode we went through some basic information on different types of franchises, the service industry versus brick and mortar, semi-passive versus passive franchises, and also some funding opportunities for you as well. So kind of just some basic information there to get you started. At any time you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. 361-772-6401 or greg@franchisemaven.com. That's greg@franchisemav as in Victor, en.com. I'm always here for you to answer any questions. We're going to be going through my book, Real Freedom, Why Franchises Are Worth Considering and How They Can Be Used for Building Wealth. I was fortunate enough to get it up to the Wall Street Journal bestsellers list, which was just an amazing accomplishment. I was simply amazed that many people actually wanted to read it, which is good. I love that. Send me out your address if you'd like a copy of that, and I will send you over a free copy of that book. What I want to be doing in this episode is kind of give you an introduction to myself, where I got myself started off in franchising and what I did in my past life to get to where I am today. So a little bit of background about who I am and what I have done in the past to bring me to this point in life. I started out in high school as a restaurant manager, actually, for Taco Bell. I worked for a master franchisor. She had many different Taco Bells throughout the Sacramento and Woodland, California area, up in Northern California. I actually grew up in Woodland, California, and went to high school there. And I really enjoyed that experience. I didn't know much about franchising back then. Didn't even know that it wasn't franchise to begin with or what a franchise was. But I helped her out, especially when I got out of high school. I would manage her restaurants for her throughout the Sacramento, California area and help her build up sales on that. So that's where I got my start in life. I also, after I did that, I then moved up to a Lions restaurant food chain, which is similar to a Denny's on that, except it had a full bar, and it also had, we also had a piano player on Friday and Saturday nights. That was kind of different. Did the restaurant manager thing for about 15 years. After that, I decided it was time for a change. Went and got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and physics. Went to work for Mohr as a semiconductor and then Freescale Semiconductor on that. While I was doing that, I got my master's degree in business. Read Robert Kiyosaki's books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which pretty much ruined my corporate career for me after that. I decided at that point in time there had to be something better in life to do. But while I was doing all that, a friend of mine in the engineering world and myself, we purchased a dry cleaners with some drop-off locations. We had storage units, and I got into a couple of investment properties, rental properties on that. So I was figuring out that you can do semi-passive ownership, work at the same time, and run a business on the side, as I indicated in my last episode there, where I talked about semi-passive ownership as well. And yeah, about 10 to 15 hours a week is probably was what I was putting into helping run those, the dry cleaners, drop-off locations, and my rental properties all at the same time. But while I was getting my degree in business, my MBA, I read Robert Kiyosaki's books, like I indicated, and decided there was time, it had to be something better to do with your life out there than to work in the 9-to-5 job, or in my case, 7-to-5 job on that one. I enjoyed the job thoroughly. I really enjoyed data analysis, working with engineers. I helped other engineers learn different processing systems as well. Did a lot of teaching on that. But being there from 7 to 5 every day and having somebody breathing down your neck and wanting you to be at your cube all the time got a little old after a while. It didn't take 15 years, but it did get old after a while on that. And I was always on somebody else's terms. They're always giving you your evaluations every 6 months. And it just wasn't my idea of necessarily a good time. Loved the work. Didn't like the having to be there from 7 to 5. I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So I knew I had to do something else on that. So that's when I started getting into franchising. I left the corporate world and decided it was time to go out there and get a franchise for myself on that one. So what I'm going to be going through with you over the next few weeks is I'm going to go through my books. This is just an introduction about myself and what I did. And show you what we're looking for and the processes we go through together. You and I will go through together to find franchises that are a good fit for you. And I'll have some real world stories of people that I worked with as well going through this process. My motivation is always to help others. I did a lot of training of other engineers when I was an engineer back in the semiconductor world. I also have read a lot of books. Zig Ziglar was one of them. One of the things he said, which I hold to my heart, is that, you know, you help enough people get what they want in life, you will get what you want in life. Probably paraphrasing that a little bit there, but strong words to live by. And I like that. So my motivation is to help you figure out what is the best franchise for you, and of course, figure out if franchising is right for you along the way as well. It's another thing we'll figure out. It's not for everybody. Not all my people that I work with necessarily get into a franchise. Some of them realize along the way that, hey, they'd rather just be an employee and stick with doing that. But having that information and having those options is always a good thing to do. So we're going to go through those processes on that. And we'll start off next week with Chapter 1, where freedom is one franchise away. Always give me a call if you have any questions, 361-772-6401. Send me out an email at greg@franchisemaven.com. That's franchise Maven, M-A-V as in Victor, E-N.com. And if you'd like a copy of my book, free copy, Wall Street Journal bestseller, yay! Just send me out your address and I'll send you a free copy of that. In the meantime, until next week, y'all have a great day.